I'm going to be talking about the web-based event scheduler that we're releasing for the control server. As I'm sure you're all aware of our control server product, that allows you to host SymView control screens, and it also has a dedicated mixer application that you can use wirelessly. It actually hosts that as a web interface. The real convenience of that is that now you can use any device with a web browser. People like to use their iPads and things like that to control the system. So we've already had that in the control server, but in 7.3, we're releasing the web-based event scheduler for that. So that's going to add some more functionality to the control server we're really excited about. So I've got my control server here already. One quick caveat I'll point out for doing this is that you're going to have the control server be the event server instead of the Symetrix DSP in this case. So instead of using the normal Windows PC-based event scheduler, you're going to be hosting that on the control server. So that's all you got to do is check that box to enable that. I will double click on my control server. So let me log in first as the administrator, and I'll show you just a couple quick things, how easy it is to set up and the similarities between using the event scheduler and the other apps. So here I'm logged in as the admin. In the menu over here, what you would do is you would go to applications, and there's no difference here with the event scheduler as there is with the Mixer app or SymView. You would basically license the configuration. So all you do is you come in and you do that. Then it's going to be available to assign to users, and that's works the same as the Mixer app and SymView. Then you would assign it to a user. And again, the process is exactly the same as doing this with SymView or the Mixer app. So the event scheduler is here. I would basically allow this configuration to be used by this user in particular. And that's all I got to do to make it available. Then I'll log out and just log right in as the user and show you what we got. Okay, so now I'm logging in as the user. You can see what's really cool here is the event scheduler just shows up as another app right alongside your SymView control screens and your Mixer app. So you can basically manage all of these things from the same control server, from the same device. So we'll click on the event scheduler here and open that up. So by default, it opens to the month view. So again, the point here is that you're scheduling events, and by events we mean presets. So of course you have to create the presets in Composer software ahead of time to make them available to schedule. And then once you've done that, you can schedule them in here. So here's the month view. You can see up in the left, top left corner, I can look at an individual day view. I can look at the week view, and I can look at the month view. So you got your quick different views there. Also, regardless of which view you're in, up here at the top right, you can use the left and right arrows to scroll forward and backwards to a different month. And then that works the same way if you're in the week view. I can go to the week previous or the week ahead. And then of course you can always click on the today button to get back to today. So same thing with the day view. I can use the left and right arrows just to increment, decrement days. Okay. So those are the view options that you have. I'll click on the menu up here, and you've got a few items to look at. So I can choose new event, and that's one way to create a new event. That brings up the new event dialog, and we're going to talk all about the stuff in here. But first, I wanted to show you the other way you can create an event. You can simply just click on a day. So I can click on any day in particular. That brings up the same new event dialog. Also, it defaults to that date automatically that you clicked on. Okay. We also have custom labels that I'm going to show you how these are used, but you can create your own custom names and colors for these. And if you have a certain job that you make a bunch of custom labels here, and then you want to defer back to the defaults or whatever, you have a reset button that you can reset those labels. And then finally, the last thing to show you really in the menu is the set unit clock dialog. So this is important because we do want the event scheduler to have the right time so that it can trigger events when you're telling it to do that. So you can manually choose the time and date here, or you can actually click sync with device, and this should automatically sync it up with your PC's time. So that is there to make it nice and easy. And the only other thing in the menu is the go to button, so you can go to a certain date. If you wanted to skip forward or backwards significantly without using the forward backwards buttons here. Okay, so let's make some events now, and I'll show you everything we can do there. So I will click on a day, and this brings up the new event dialog. So you can name the event. Let's just call it test event 1. And then I'm going to choose the preset. I just made 4 presets really quick in my demo site file here, just for a matrix mixer. So I named them all on, all off, 1 to 1, 4 to 1. So it's just doing different matrix mixer presets. But so that's what that's doing. But so you choose which preset you're triggering, and then you're going to choose which one of your custom labels there. So I'll just choose the first one. And then you're going to choose the time. You got to drop down here for each one of these. And then you have the date as well that you can change. Obviously, I clicked on the specific date and it defaulted to that, but you can change it from here. And then there's 2 types of events. There's single events or there's recurring events. So let's start with single. So obviously that's probably pretty self-explanatory. If I click OK, I made a single event right there on Wednesday the 8th. So let's click on Wednesday the 8th again and we'll make another one. Let's call it test event 2. I'm going to choose which preset I want it to recall. I'm going to choose a label here. And this time, let me show you what the options are for recurring events. Okay, so when you choose recurring, then you have individual days that you can select every day of the week. So I could choose all 7 days here, or for example, I could just choose Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, let's start there. So if I create this event, I'll click OK. And then you can see how that added that event to Monday through Friday every day. Okay, let's make another one and we'll get into some of the other stuff. So we'll say test event number 3. I'll choose a different preset and we'll choose another label. And we'll do recurring. Okay, and so now check this out. We have the option to do whitelist and we can also make a blacklist. So let's start with a whitelist. So if I choose whitelist, then I can click add remove. And what that does is then it brings me out to my month view and I can basically choose certain days that would be whitelisted. Okay, so I'll choose these 6 days right here to be whitelisted, and then at the top right you'll see this blinking red done button. So when you're done, you click that, and then it brings you back to the new event dialog, and then it also shows you a list of those events that you selected. So those 6 events that I whitelisted are in a list here now. And if I changed my mind or if I wanted to edit that, I can just click add remove again, and I can take one of those days out. Click done. Okay, and so now you will see that I had all 7 days of the week selected and I created a whitelist. So now if I say go, it only allowed the days I whitelisted to be added to the calendar. Okay, so now we can kind of do something sort of the opposite of that with the blacklist. So let's do that as an example and then we'll be done. Test event number 4, we'll call it. I'll choose a different preset and we'll choose another label and we'll say recurring, and I'll go ahead and just choose all 7 days for this example, and then this time I'll choose the blacklist, and I'll say add or remove, so the process is the same as the whitelist. So this time I'm choosing days that would be on the blacklist. Okay, so let's just choose some random days, those days. Okay, and so then I'll click the done button here at the top right, and if I click blacklist, that shows me the list of days that I added to the blacklist, and I'll click OK. All right, and so now it added a recurring event for every day except the days on my blacklist. Okay, and basically that is everything that you can do with the event scheduler. Ooh, one more thing I just was going to show you if I can actually turn my webcam on here for a second. Oh, it's working. So I got my iPad here. Let's see if that's not really going to work very good. I'm not sure if you can see that if I hold it at an angle. But anyways, everything I'm doing on the PC, I can do on my iPad here. It all works the same. I can click a day, it brings up the new event dialog. Sorry, that's not showing very well on the screen, but I think you guys get the idea. I can do that all wirelessly and all the same from my iPad. So that's pretty much it if there's no questions.